Well, we've been talking all show about kids going back to school today, once again, or not going back to school, that is. Virtual learning is back in play today. So I figured let's have on an expert. She doesn't like to call herself an expert, but I'm going to do that. Co founder of Mabel's Labels, parenting blogger, most importantly in this case, mom of six, Julie Cole joins me. Good afternoon, Julie.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Good.
Now, kids aren't leaving the home today. You're a mom of six. How do you deal with virtual learning all over again?
Yeah, look, I think when this announcement came down, I was thinking, parents everywhere are going to be feeling really frustrated and exhausted. It is super hard to have these kids back home again, but here we go. We're well rehearsed. We're on to, I think, is this our third time doing this? So I think there's a couple of things we can put into place. I know with my guys, I try to figure out what kind of learners they are. I have some who do really well with online learning, some not so much. So obviously your kid, depending on the kind of learner they are, you will have to make different accommodations. So for me, the first thing I do is I try to create a good space for them. I try to have, depending on, again, what kind of learner, I have some kids who are great sitting around a table with a bunch of siblings and all the banter going on. And then I have some who need to be in their own little spot, headphones on, noise canceling headphones. So whatever kind of learner you have, please try to create a great space for them. Make sure that you've got their tech there, it's all charged up, ready to go, that the Wi-Fi is all good, and that you've got anything, pens, papers, any equipment they might need right there, accessible, so they don't have to keep getting up and moving around to try and get their stuff. And at the same time, while I say that, if you don't have a space in your home that's perfect and that it's not ideal, that's okay. You know what? These kids, they can learn in lots of places. So I do not want parents feeling guilty if they don't have like a perfect little children's study and the most up-to-date technology for their kids. It's okay. Your kids are going to be fine. They are resilient. The teachers understand it. Now, the other thing I would say is at this point, we really need to pick our battles. We are not our optimal selves these days, parents. We are just getting by. And if I've got one little guy. Here's an example. He has a funny little learning profile. He's got an LD, he's ADD, ADHD. So I pick my battles with what we're going to do. So I make sure we get the spelling done and the math done and that sort of stuff. But if teacher says, okay, this afternoon, we're all doing a virtual tour of the San Francisco Zoo and you're going to write about an animal, I'm like, we're out. We're not doing any of that stuff. So, you know what? You pick your battles. You don't have to do everything. Communicate with your teachers. They're very understanding about this situation. So create space, pick battles. And then my final point is don't rescue the kids. They're right in front of us. And I know we see them struggling and it's our instinct to jump in and save them and help them. Let them sit in their discomfort for a bit. Let them problem solve. Let them figure it out. And that will be very good for you too, because then you'll be able to get done all the things that you need to get done instead of hovering over your children and rescuing them all the time.
So about that, Julie, I mean, right now you're going to be in a space and parents are going to be in a space where maybe they're home working from home. The kids are in school at home. How do you manage to have those two things happen? Like, how do you set boundaries for your work and their schooling at home?
That's a great question. And it is all about boundaries. I think first thing in the morning, you have the group huddle, just like when you're at work. So everybody gets together. What does the day look like? For me, it's like, okay, right now I'm taping with Jason. So I need everybody else to be quiet. So between 1:30 and 2, you have to be in a different space, or you actually have to tell your teachers that you're not allowed to talk for a few minutes. And that's okay, because we have our work to do as well. So it's just making sure everybody knows what everybody else has going on. And there's certain times if I'm doing a Zoom with an important meeting, I have to be like, guys, I need to have all the Wi-Fi juice right now. So you need to manage that, and also really try to make them more independent. Put the snacks down low. Give them a water bottle so that they're not asking for water all day. If you feel like your kitchen has a revolving door of people in and out, that can be so annoying. Or mom, I want a snack. Dad, get me a. You can still pack their lunches in the morning and then they can have that in their little workspace or with their siblings. But you can, at 8 o'clock, close the kitchen and already have their snacks packed and their lunch packed and be like, hey, if you finish it all by 11, you're done. Natural consequence. You finish your lunch, the kitchen is closed. So I think that's just keeping them independent. Try to maybe set up a nonverbal communication system if you're in your office. Sometimes you can put like a green piece of paper on the door, which means come on in, or the door is open. That means come on in. Yellow means, hey, I'm in a meeting, but if you need me, come in quietly. Red means your brother better be drinking bleach under the sink or the house better be on fire. So use those reds sparingly so that they are effective.
All right. I love the tips, Julie. This is fantastic. I'm sure they're very helpful for all the parents at home. Thank you for joining us today. We should do this again very soon because I think parents need a lot of help, and who knows how long we're going to be in this.
You got it.